over to Antoine for him to say some words.
Yes. So you probably know, have heard about, or used teamwork tools as a remote support tool, or either asset management tools for networks and IT devices. And remote and support is really part of the DNA of TeamViewer. Therefore, over the years, TeamViewer introduced a line of product in IoT, which is, again, remote support. And we will talk about today about Frontline, a company which has been acquired a year ago, which is dedicated to augmented reality and support to the users on the shop floor, logistic warehouses, etc. So you will see afterwards some demo, presentation of the product, line of the product, how you build this kind of application, and I will pass
to me.
to you.
Thank you.
Presenting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we have the quick intro of the companies. Well, join me over here. You know, you don't have to walk away.
Okay.
No cigarette break now. No. Just a couple of things about 5G features in 5 seconds, because I think that's important, because a lot of people say, yeah, 5G, where is the added value? What is actually the new thing about 5G? So the pyramid you might have seen. So these are the 3 core features which are usually mentioned in the press. So it's like you get a lot of bandwidth out of it. So instead of just a couple 100 megabit, you can shoot out 1000 megabit over the air. It's low latency, so it's drastically reducing the feedback loop. If you're a gamer, you probably know the ping of death. You know, you're dead before you actually know it or realize it on your PC. So that's drastically reduced, and that's important for real-time application. And last but not least, even if you only have one phone, you can actually connect a high number of devices. Might not be relevant for the average end customer, because he says, yeah, I have one phone, maybe I have a tablet, maybe I have a laptop connected, but you never know. First of all, we see the numbers of devices increasing, so you see more and more things like the watch, like IoT devices. And don't forget, if you're, for example, in a dense area like a city and everybody is having like 4 or 5 devices and every street lamp is suddenly broadcasting something on 5G, you need space and airspace for a lot of devices. Then one feature which is not that often mentioned is slicing. Slicing, in layman's terms, basically means you can reserve a specific amount of bandwidth for your applications. Let's say in the city, a lot of devices, everybody is creating a lot of traffic. However, you have a mission critical thing like an ambulance. For that one, you could reserve a specific bandwidth. It's an extra lane on your highway, which is reserved. So use cases. What are the use cases actually of that one? And I think well, personally, that's one of my favorite slides. I know that my colleague Hugues says always looks at it and starts to smile because he knows what's coming. So if you think use cases for 5G mobile, there are a couple of different things. First thing is, always think we're talking about a mobile application. So your first question is this actually a mobile use case? Then linking into the previous slide where we had the 4 features, we said, does it really require low latency? Does it require high bandwidth? Do I need to connect a lot of devices? Do I have some requirement for a specific lane for the slicing in terms of security or for whatever? If that's the case, you usually end up with good use cases. Could be a remote controlled vehicle, because there you really want to have low latency, else your car crashes and you're turning and then 5 seconds later the car actually turns. Doesn't really work. Bear in mind, it's remote controlled. We're not talking autonomous here. Second thing is high resolution video, for example, because that sucks a lot of bandwidth. And for that bandwidth, if 50,000 users at the same time try to consume that bandwidth, you simply need more on the antenna side. High security is good for the slicing. And if you combine these features like the high bandwidth and the low latency, you actually start to realize, Maybe there will be more cool features and more use cases in the future. We don't know yet, but augmented reality and virtual reality are definitely good use cases because they require a lot of bandwidth and they require low latency. You know, nothing, I've seen people turning seasick, they turn ahead with the VR and then the picture like 2 seconds later shifts. That's not really a good experience. So if you don't have these things, then you end up with cases which might not be so good. So somebody says, yeah, here is a camera and that requires 5G. Yeah, is it flying in the middle of the air, hanging on a balloon? No, it's not. It's attached to a street pole. So you can attach fiber to it. There's no need for 5G. Fully autonomous vehicles? No, because it's not autonomous if it needs a wireless leash, and you probably don't want to stop your car to stop when you're driving out of coverage. Stationary robots, well, they need power. You can put fiber. Weather stations, they don't really transmit that much data, so they don't need low latency. They don't need that much bandwidth. And in the end, you can use any other technology that consumes less power. So now we said AR, VR, actually good use cases we know by now. What can you do with AR and VR at this stage? So here's the video. I hope you can see that at home as well. There's something moving. Yeah, perfect. You say, hey, didn't the guy just say stationary things are a stupid idea for augmented reality? Yeah, the machine is stationary. The guy wearing the HoloLens is not. You see, no cables, no nothing attached. You can just simply put it on and, for example, have an augmented view on the data that the machines actually produce. So then what's VR and AR? It's also, I got a question. I put that slide in there because somebody said, hey, you're confusing me. I'm getting VR here. I'm getting AR there. What is the difference? So VR is more or less lets you see something which is not there for real or not in the place where you are. So it could be like an artificial world, like a game or something. Or it could also be, let's say, a real world view from a camera, which is somewhere else. So we have one case at the booth downstairs where we have a 360-degree video recording. So you can actually look around like you're live in the place where it actually happens. And we thought that's actually a really, really cool place. You know, your favorite band is playing in Australia and you could join live because somebody is actually transmitting that data and you can see what's happening there in real time around you, and well, potentially even with the sound having in 3D. So that's VR. It creates a view on something that does not exist in the place where you are. Augmented reality on the other side, that fuses what you see. So you actually have not like a camera in front of or a cinema in front of you, but you have half transparent glasses. You see what's happening, and then you can actually get additional information blended in. That's why I always say this is like the difference between playing a game where you have a VR world compared to Iron Man, where he's getting all the additional information from what's happening around. Good. So what are the real world cases? We have done a couple of things. We have a big innovation lab, and with our mother company, for example, we are also working in the harbor in Port of Antwerp. This is a case that we have been building. This is augmented reality for building. What other cases? One is more or less the remote controlled ships. So this guy is actually controlling the ship. And for that one, you definitely need low latency. We are playing with that in the port. In Sweden, there's actually a case where they do remote controlled ferries. So the ferry drives autonomously across the pond, but for docking in the harbor, somebody who's sitting in a large office with a lot of screens is actually remote controlling the whole thing, and just, he's not doing anything but docking and undocking, roll on, roll off all day long. Not sure if that's really a popular job. I'd rather drive across the ocean, but apparently it's a really, really good use case because it pays off. So there's really return on investment. Augmented reality for building. You see the building in front of you. That's one thing. That's the outside view. But the more interesting thing is on the left side. That's the inside view, because you take a look, you're inside the raw building, and you can create additional layers of information. So you can actually see where are the water pipes supposed to go, where are the electrical pipes supposed to go, is the airco in the place where it is supposed to be. So all these things you can actually create as an overlay, and you can see, is this how it's supposed to be? What do we do if there's an error? Do we need to do something? Oh, we need an additional pipe. Is there actually space enough to put that additional pipe in the place? And you can always, of course, check, is your building information management, so the cut layout, is that in line with what the guys with the shovel actually put in place? Good. So one thing that we're getting closer than to handing over to Antoine is remote assistance. This is also really, really a nice thing. So basically what you're doing is we're getting deeper and deeper into what has been known so far as, for example, remote hands. So you can actually give a job to a person that is not really familiar with a task, and let the person carry it out there and assist that person remotely. So we see that, I think we're assembling we're doing the complex task of assembling a pen.
Okay, yes.
A pen, perfect. Yeah,
We'll do
great.
that.
So the live demo will be Antoine, who doesn't know how to put the pen together, and he'll show you how you can get help for that thing. Good. So over to you. So you'll do some more slides explaining the whole thing, and then we're jumping into the live demo. And we have somewhere on the side is another person with Dominic, and he'll be the master of ceremony taking over, and he'll show you how you can guide somebody through the.
So I would like to introduce today Frontline as a software for supporting augmented reality, augmented assistance for people through glasses, or eventually through tablets or iPhone. What we have to say that 80% of the workforce has no access to a digital tool for processing these tasks. It means that they have to go back and forth between their job or their production line and computers for reporting, for following instruction, etc., etc. That's why we have Frontline. Frontline is a platform covering initially 4 aspects of remote assistance. X-Pix, dedicated to logistic, means that in a warehouse, the employee may go around the warehouse having step-by-step where they have to go, what they have to pick, and where the device should be put within the trolleys for processing orders. Then we have XMEC. XMEC is dedicated for people on a production line, so they will receive, instead of looking to a manual for building, instead of referring to a PDF, referring to a tablet, they will receive instructions step by step on how they will build or they will process the task they are assigned. So actually, I will do with this pen an XMEC use case. Then we have X-Inspect. X-Inspect is more dedicated for maintenance. So the interesting thing here, same principle, a task with a series of actions to take, indicated step by step to the person, and the capacity also, after this workflow is completely done, having automatically a reporting of these tasks. So having a complete reporting, eventually including pictures, and that could be connected directly to any ERP or any other system, just for either acquiring experience or just reporting because of legal constraint, for instance. Then we have X-Assist. X-Assist is alive. I would say this is the initial team viewer.
That's closest to the initial team view, I'd say as well, yeah.
Yeah, it's the initial team viewer, but in reality, augmented reality.
Yes.
So all of those kind of products being based on the same platform can obviously be I would say combined depending on the process that you have to realize. Several good, I would say, advantage around those solutions. First of all, usually we have much faster execution in the processes as long as the person doesn't have to refer to any paper, to any documentation, or referring to people to be sure that they have properly processed the task that they've been assigned. Second, this is the opportunity to train people much faster, as long as you don't have necessarily to have the people being during a week into a training. They can learn as long as they are just guided by the classes step by step. They can be trained directly on the production line, for instance, knowing that in any case, if any needs, they may call some external support for them to be assisted. And obviously, another big interest with the AR glasses means that the user is completely hands-free. So no paper, no tablet, nothing for, I would say, bothering him during his studies. So just some example. Here, for instance, is a quality control on a helicopter gearbox. Initially, the operator had to take all the measures during this inspection of this gearbox and then report an APC. So he was always going from the gearbox to the PC and back and forth. Using smart glasses, we have an inspection which is 40% faster than initially. There is no documentation. Everything is automatically reported within the system, and it reduces a lot of errors. Obviously, it makes the people much more happy because it's much more simple to realize this inspection, and you reduce, of course, a lot of mistake, error, forgetting one of the tasks, etc., etc.
I think that there are two aspects to the Airbus thing. Also, one thing is if you have ever worked in the airline industry, you need to document every little step along the road. And this one here, we've tried it with the Vuzix before. It works hands-free. So basically, you don't even have to press a button to take the picture to do the proper documentation, and it's completely into the workflow. And the workflow itself is also properly documented. And the nice thing is, well, with 5G, you can do this even outside for, let's say, for a cell tower or for other things as well. Okay, thanks.
Well, this is a Lexus Assist example. So for helping into the garage, the mechanics, when they have some issues, then they may call directly Lexus and Toyota headquarters, I would say, calling an expert for some assistance. You will see that into the demo afterward. And well, as a takeaway for Airbus, it has been, the benefits has been 40% faster, the inspection. We have Coca-Cola, which reduced by a factor of 17 the errors processing the orders, etc., etc. So let's go to video and live video. We will first start with the video, and then I will start and produce this page.
Yeah, I can't wait until this thing actually becomes available for private persons, because as I mentioned, the car case was really, really close to reality, because my wife had an issue with the cooler, and I said, fill up the water. And she said, but there are a lot of holes in this car. Where am I supposed to fill up the water? So with this one, she said, no, don't use that one. That's the oil. No, that's for the wiper liquid. Yeah, that's the right one for the cooler. So would have have been nice to have it, but I think it's a little bit expensive as of now.
No.
Dominic, you ready?
Yeah.
I hear sound. Can we hear the sound?
For inspection processes, hands-free operations are the key. Anytime. Take picture. For inspection processes, hands-free operations are the key. With the help of smart glasses and our X-Inspect solution, port workers are guided through container inspections, simply step by step. Start work. Scan task. Continue. Continue. Yes. Dangerous. Call port operator. Port forward. The port operator confirms that there are no dangerous goods in the container. After the terminal worker has logged in, identified the container, and confirmed the status of the contents with the port operator, he opens it for visual inspection of the inside. Throughout the whole process, X-Inspect provides hands-free and visual instructions, on-site documentation, as well as instant connection to the port operator at any time. Take picture.
Perfect. Thanks for the video. So now we'll go for a quick live demo. Well, and we hope it'll work out. So what you see over there is basically the dashboard view of an operator, and then we have Antoine over here who will demonstrate the view. The reason why we put the dashboard in there is that we can also, let's say, have a view a little bit through what is seen on the inside.
Yes,
Okay.
so
Go ahead.
here you have actually what I'm seeing within the glasses. My task, make a pen.
Stop, sorry. We're not experts because of latency.
Continue.
So the thing is, that's probably not that visible in that camera. We have a couple pieces of a pen. It's not that complicated, but we could do another demo. But we figured for the pen for the assembly, it probably makes sense. So five pieces.
Yeah.
Bear in mind. because it only
So
shows
I have
4.
to count the pieces, right?
You have to count
So
the
I have
pieces.
5.
You have 5, not 4.
That's a critical issue.
That's a critical issue.
I
You
can
have 5
continue
pieces
my
of a
job.
pen instead of 4.
Okay. Call support.
You need to go continue first. Huh?
Continue.
So we can take all.
Huh?
Call support. Call a user.
It
Dominic,
takes some time. Okay, it's a little bit late.
start call.
So
Yeah, we got something. It takes some time. It takes some time. It's coming.
so now
We're not on
will-
5G live yet, huh? You can tell by the delay.
Dominic, join us.
So hello Antoine, how can I help you? What
Hi
kind of
Dominic,
problem
have
do
a
you
big issue. I'm trying to build this pen. You asked me
Hold
to
on,
find
wait,
4 pieces and I have 5.
Okay, that's very easy. I can help you with that. So you are meaning these 5 pieces, and you see my pointer right now?
Yeah,
Okay, so we have 5 and we need to make 4 out of it. Okay.
yes.
It's very easy.
Sort of.
I will help you. So please put away your hand so that I get a good view of the pen. You know, put your hand down. I will take a snapshot and then you will see my screenshot in parallel and I can mark you which parts you have to put together. So this is quite easy because the cup and the body you have to put together. So this is quite easy. I will show you how you have to do it. Just press these 2 things together and then you're good to go. I will will document this picture because of that we can get a report out of it. So I will archive it and then we can see it on the right hand side and so we can build a report out of it.
Okay.
Do they hear me? Do they understand me? I hope I was speaking loud enough so that this microphone gets my voice. And so now we have documented it that I showed you. Please can you do it and that I can see if it works and you have 4 parts afterwards.
Okay.
So now I can see his camera in live stream as an expert and I'm sitting anywhere in the world and I can help him with them backend. So very good, Antoine, that you put them together. I think you're now ready to go. So
Thank you for your help.
problem, right? Is that correct?
Yes, everything perfect. Thank you.
Okay, then I will stop the sharing.
Yeah.
I will send you a message. Thanks, smiley. So we will get a message in his display. And actually, I also could share the screen, like you know, from other solutions. And I also could record it if I have to, because my supervisor has told me that I have to record it. So within 2 minutes, I could solve a problem very easily and accessible.
Okay, so I may continue now. Return. Return. Continue. Okay, so now I may put into the pen. Continue. This is because of my French accent. Continue. Continue. Put that into the body. Continue. I finish my pen. Continue. Yes.
So that's quality control check at the end. So
Thank-
he has also the possibilities to document it right in the process. So he doesn't need any kind of paper or extra devices to document all the things. And we can make sure as a company that he has done his task in the right way and we can check it afterwards and we have some kind of documentation, which is I think always important, which we also have seen in the video before. So take picture. I can't see it from the monitoring or from the administration console because of security reasons actually. So he has to take the picture and afterwards I can see again what's on the smart glass will be shown and I can help him actually if he has some problems.
May I take a picture? Take the picture. Take picture.
So, good job,
Continue.
Antoine.
So here, simple demonstration of a production line for a pen.
So,
Yeah, and if you're wondering if I'm a stomach speaker, no, it was Dominic speaking, but he doesn't have a camera in front of himself.
but
So
now I can turn on my camera actually, and I think I'm now unmuted, so you hear me. Hello everyone. So this was a short demonstration how a workflow can look like in real. So we are not just talking about theoretical research projects. So it's like working. I think, for example, Coca-Cola, 1,000 employees are using our technology right now, and it's really easy to create such kind of workflows. And I will show you how easy it is because there are no coding skills needed for that. And what you see now is like the overview of our creator. So this is a platform actually web-based where you can create your own workflows. Now we have a look actually at the make a pen workflow with all the steps. Maybe if I click on this template, you see on the right-hand side, like the same picture or screen which you already saw before. So what I can do now, I can make changes on it. Like I can say, and add some text, some easy text. So this is very easy without any coding skills. And I'm also able to add new templates. Like if I say, hey, if I want to be friendly, I can open it. I can say, hello world, like we learn in Java. If you're using it first time Java, no coding skills needed, smiley. And actually, I also have some properties which I can change. Like I can say change the button for back, and I can say like okay, go back and next. And what you see now is that actually buttons at the bottom are changing. So this is very easy and adjustable for everyone. And now we have to make a transition, for example. So I want to say after the welcome step, and maybe I have to rename the step actually. So then the work step name is changed to be, if I'm not changing, let's say template. Actually, yeah, I could change it, make like this. Now we have to decide which transitions we want to have so that you can go on with the next step. Like we can add a gesture-based connection or a speech-based connection. What we just have shown before was all which Antoine used to go to the next step. But actually, yes, also some glasses have the possibilities with some buttons on the side of the glasses. But yeah, so for this reason, I would go always for the gesture-based transition. Okay, what are we facing? What issues are we facing right now? For demonstration, you see it here, then it looks like this actually. So, also we have some more complex components if we want. Like at the end, we have seen some documentation. This is over there. So this is a special thing where we can take pictures and document the things like we want if there are some issues occurring. And yeah, afterwards, when I have published it, like it's version 3, then I can easily assign it to the frontline worker or to a special smart class like the musics, which we already use. And this will look like this. So I just go into the snake module of our frontline solution, and there I can say, okay, let's have a look at the task list. So what we just see now is we have here a lot of tasks completed, cancelled, and maybe not started yet. And we also get some additional information about these tasks. Like if we have a look at the demo task of Antoine Glasses, I can open it and I can get more task details out of it. So I see the duration of every step he has made. So maybe I can do some analysis out of it. Like afterwards, I can see, okay, step 1 has took like 10 minutes, but it should be just 1 minute, then I can adjust these tasks or ask my frontline worker, okay, what do we have to change that you can do a better job out of it? So very easy, and everything is documented in these details. But as I said before, I want to assign a new task to Antoine classes because he has done the task before. I say like demo task, and then I just select the workflow which we created, like make a pen version 3. I just select it. I also can plan the date, like he has to do it tomorrow, or let's say today, for example. And then, sorry, I made a mistake because it's not on one classes. It's actually we have to make it. Sorry. So demo task again. Select workflow. I was a bit confused. And attack because it's demo. And then we assign it to a user action. And there I want to assign it to the frontline worker. That is even more like this for some classes. I can assign it to him, create it, and within seconds, the glass synchronized with the task, and he can go on with the new task, and I have the control over it because I see it's not stuck. So very easy, even for the expert which is sitting in front of a laptop and guide the workers through the steps. And yeah, so this would be the task overview of our solution, I would say. No, let's have a look at the Lexus Assist code, because what Antoine was doing before, he started a task, and within the task, he said, okay, I have an issue, I need some support or some help. He called me, so this was an Lexus Assist code, so like some remote support. And therefore, we also have another dashboard for that we can see what was happening. Like now, we see at 11th of October at 2:35 p.m. there was a call happening, and then I can open it. And actually, what you see right here is a document which I created before. So very easy to see. I have access to all the protocol and also the log and the event logs. And let's say I give it a title and pen support, for example. I will save it, and then I'm also able to create a service report out of it, because I want to say after 1 month I have to create a report with all the pen support sessions I have made before. Then I can select them. I can select some more, for example, and then I can get details of service report, pen support, for example. I can give it an internal ticket number, for example, if we need that. Like was ticket number 12. Then I go on, and then I can decide which kind of documents are inserted. You want to keep them, and then actually I can export PDF afterwards and say, okay, set status is done, and all reports are done, and I have just a PDF, which I can open and show you maybe. So this is the first time I'm using this laptop, but it should work. So very, very easy for documentation reasons. It's all done automatically with no effort, and your frontline worker can with both hands free. So this is one of the big advantage of this kind of solution. So you have your hands free, and it can work directly with the instructions of the expert at the right place, at the right time, at the right moment.
Cool. Thanks. Maybe a couple additional things. So we think that once this is really completely deployed with 5G properly, it's not only limited to an in-house use, because then you can of course do it outside. You can do maybe crane controlling or other things that you currently can't do. Really awesome application for 5G. Then the second thing I wanted to hint at is, if you don't like the universal soldier look with this thing here, because you always feel directly like Jean-Claude Van Damme with this thing, there's also a variety of other devices out there that work with that one. There's a bigger one. Yeah, no, I don't like that one because give it to me. Because, if you put this one on, actually this fits over a helmet. This is actually for a hard helmet. But since we don't have the hard helmet, there's the so-called work band, but you always look like you're up to jogging or aerobics or something like that. So that's.
But that makes more secured.
Yeah, but it's secured.
I would say for industrial or
for
external
industrial use it's
environment.
better. And I like let's say the quality. I think the HoloLens also works, you told me, because we haven't
Yes.
that one tried out.
And also
Of course. Good. Well, that was more or less the presentation. So walking through 5G a little bit, VR, AR differences. Now you can make up your mind if the screen that you see is not a true overlay, if this is more VR or AR. That's why I said we're not too dogmatic about it. I hope you like the presentation. If you have any idea, if you have any questions, not sure if the audio works on the other side that well. But else just type something in the chat. I think Dominic is still in front of the PC, so he can pick up questions over there. Or if you have any questions over here, feel free to ask. No questions over here. See, crystal clear presentation. What more do you want?
Perfect.
Perfect. Good. Then that having said, just doing a little bit marketing for our own platform. So we basically have, apart from testing this technology, which we see as a catalyst and as an enabling technology for 5G and vice versa, we have a pretty big platform that we use, where we can do basically try out pretty much everything that you want to try on 5G, not only limited on AR, VR, but also trying out other things. And we also have a process behind it. We collaborate with partners. We also have some drones, some other fancy technology. So if you have an idea, I have something for 5G, but it's not necessarily only related to this. Of course, if you have something where you want to try out, I have a workflow, can we try it out? Be our guest, reach out to us, contact us. We are still there. So I know we're running early, but that many questions I couldn't have answered. We thought we put in some buffer. This is the email address. You can see up here, 5g@telindus.lu. Reach out to us. Else, Antoine and myself and Dominic, we're all three on LinkedIn. So go shoot us a mail. If you surprise us was a good idea, we're always interested in cool things. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Wow.